With the previous year having come to a close, 2026 already has some huge releases like Grand Theft Auto 6 to look forward to, but that doesn't mean the already announced AAA successors are all we can hope for. With more live service games struggling to meet expectations after so many releases, it's the perfect time for some beloved single-player franchises to take center stage in the new year. From long-running series that have been teased with years of updates, to those that have been completely absent for far too long, there are plenty of franchises that desperately need to make at least a return in 2026. Even if we don't see any of these franchises get a surprise entry announced to release within a year, even a simple tease or gameplay trailer would be more than enough to make this year one to remember. From what used to be one of PlayStation's most iconic single-player IPs to a long-forgotten husk of its former self, the superpower-based Infamous franchise desperately needs a modern-day return to take advantage of PlayStation's latest hardware, or even the upcoming release of the PlayStation 6. Although superhero fatigue is a growing concern in the entertainment industry, plenty of creative offerings have shown there's still incredible demand for projects that can offer unique and interactive abilities, which Infamous more than offers in spades. Combined with the meaningful morality-based choices and abilities showcased most recently in 2014's Infamous Second Son, it's been far too long since the beloved series has seen the light of day. With an interesting blend of third-person shooting and survival mechanics, Lost Planet is an incredibly unique series that was far ahead of its time on release. Attempting to navigate a hostile alien planet where even the environment itself is out to get you, players need to rely on the use of thermal energy to stay alive, while utilizing mechanized suits to fight deadlier alien threats. While it's not the most realistic to expect a brand new entry from the sci-fi survival series after its 13-year absence, Capcom has already asked if fans were interested in a deluxe remaster of Lost Planet during a recent survey for Dead Rising, which would be a massive boon to the criminally underrated series. Despite being one of Respawn Entertainment's most beloved sci-fi franchises, the Titanfall series has been painfully sidelined since the release of Titanfall 2 all the way back in 2016. Reduced to simple set dressing for the ongoing Apex Legends and its live service offerings, fans have had to resort to their own fan games to help pass the time until the next entry in the franchise. With the 10th anniversary of the cult classic sci-fi FPS steadily approaching, it would be the perfect chance to tease a new entry in the franchise or at least pay homage to one of the most standout offerings in the genre in some form this year. With the incredibly stylish Devil May Cry show revitalizing interest in the series, it's even more surprising that we still haven't heard anything regarding the next entry in the ever-iconic action series. While we did get a mobile game release with Devil May Cry Peak of Combat, it's still not the same as a new mainline sequel to one of Capcom's best-selling games. With it being nearly 7 years since Devil May Cry was released, and Dragon's Dogma 2 from the same director, Hideaki Itsuno, having been out for some time now, it feels like the perfect time to at least tease a new entry in the beloved franchise. We might not get to play it for ourselves for more than a few years still, but any news would be welcome. NieR and the preceding Drakengard franchise easily have some of the most unique JRPGs you can find out there, with the explosive success of NieR Automata finally bringing the series to the attention of even more players. Unfortunately, we haven't had a new game in the series aside from a now-defunct mobile game since the release of Automata, which might finally change in 2026 after an announcement spotted by ex-user Genji JPN. Well, Yosuke Saito's statement of a little something for NieR Automata's 9th anniversary could mean another collaboration or event like the live orchestral tour. There's growing hope that we might actually get a sequel to the legendary NieR Automata. Even if the series isn't exactly known for its direct sequels, there's a slim hope that 2026 could see news of a spin-off set in the same iconic sci-fi world. While we've had plenty of remastered collections or ports over the years, the last time we saw a brand new entry in the beloved Ace Attorney series was all the way back in 2017. With the fantastic detective game The Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, showcasing how much potential this series still has in the modern era, it's all the more reason why we need another return in the new year. Even if there's no shortage of games to play if you love Ace Attorney, few franchises have been able to replicate the same level of charm and humor that the sleuthing series is known for. A 2026 debut would be the perfect time for a modern revival. Despite being announced all the way back in 2008, we've seen very little of Beyond Good and Evil 2, aside from a teaser and gameplay preview in 2028. Since its incredibly promising previews, the ambitious Big AE 2 seems to be stuck in one of the worst cases of development hell you can imagine. Despite the occasional update on its progress, development shifts from internal reorganizations seem to have significantly stalled its development, which was confirmed to still be progressing despite all its setbacks in June 2024. Given that we're coming up on the 20th anniversary of Beyond Good and Evil 2's initial announcement, 2026 could be the perfect time to prime players with a new gameplay trailer and release window, which are far overdue already. Following the success of its 2025 collaboration with Helldivers 2, and with Call of Duty finally taking a step back from yearly releases, the Killzone franchise has the perfect opportunity to announce a return in 2026. Standing out from the competition with a grittier sci-fi militaristic tone, Killzone's unique visual identity and grounded gameplay style would make for a refreshing return in the new year. It might be a little overly optimistic, with the last entry in the iconic FPS series Killzone Shadowfall releasing all the way back in 2013 as a launch title for the PlayStation 4. Even so, a 2026 announcement could line up perfectly to place the next Killzone game in line to be another launch title for the PlayStation 6 when it releases sometime in the next few years. As one of the highest-rated outings by Telltale Games, the original storyline of The Wolf Among Us is one of the best choice-based narrative games out there, making the rumors of its sequel cancellation even more painful to hear. While The Wolf Among Us 2 still hasn't been officially canceled, we're long overdue for any sort of update on the development and potential release of the long-awaited Telltale game. There has been some growing hope that the massive success of Ad Hoc Studios' Dispatch might help bridge the gap between Telltale and the Wolf Among Us development team. But there's still unfortunately no word on when we'll get an update for the 9-year production cycle of TWAU. Although The Evil Within might look like a generic horror franchise at first glance, its offerings are far more than just another third-person shooter inspired by the Resident Evil series. Blending psychological horror with survival horror mechanics in a way that few games have replicated since, the still unfinished series has plenty of potential for a modern revival after its 9-year absence. Combined with the critical acclaim that Remedy Entertainment's mind-bending Alan Wake 2 has received, there's clearly a demand for similar offerings in the modern horror market. Adding even more fuel to the fire of a new Evil Within is Tango Gameworks' recent acquisition by Krafton Inc., which promises to give the team the resources they need to work on additional Hi-Fi Rush content and other projects like TEW. It might not be a certainty like Grand Theft Auto 6, but it could be a wonderful surprise.